Welcome back to another ICSE Masterclass Explainer. Today we're totally decoding the Class 10 biology syllabus to give you exactly what you need for board exam mastery. We're taking a deep dive into something really fascinating, chemical coordination in plants.
Okay, so think about this for a second. We humans, and animals too, obviously, we use brains, nerves, and sense organs to react to things, right? Like a pinprick or a sudden loud noise. But what about a plant? How does a seemingly stationary, completely brainless organism survive, thrive, and actively respond to light, gravity, or even touch? I mean, they don't have a nervous system at all, yet they are incredibly responsive. How is that possible?
Well, here's our roadmap for today to figure that out. We'll start with how they're brainless but highly responsive, then meet the phytohormones, look at growth promoters and then the growth inhibitors, see tropic movements in action, and finish up with your ICSE exam prep.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, brainless but highly responsive.
The absolute crucial distinction to make right away is that while animals use locomotion, meaning, we physically pick up and move our entire bodies from point A to point B, plants exhibit what we call growth movements. A plant reacts to environmental changes, which are our stimuli, by physically bending, growing, or altering its cell structure. And it does all this without ever uprooting itself. So they do respond, absolutely, but they do it entirely on their own terms.
Which brings us to Section 2. Let's meet the phytohormones.
Phytohormones are literally the ultimate chemical messengers of the botanical world. And the name actually gives it away. Phyto just means plant. These are naturally occurring organic compounds that are synthesized in one specific part of the plant, like the very tip of a shoot, and then translocated or transported to another part to regulate growth. They act exactly like human hormones do, but what's crazy is they are remarkably effective even in extremely low concentrations.
Now for your board exams, it's super helpful to systematically categorize these hormones into two clear camps. On one side, we've got the gas pedal, the growth promoters. That's your auxins, gibberellins, and cytokinins, which push the plant to develop and expand. But on the other side, we have the brakes, the growth inhibitors. That's abscisic acid and ethylene, and their job is to tell the plant to stop, slow down, or age. Understanding this duality is absolutely key for this chapter.
So let's look at that first camp, Section 3, the plant growth promoters. First up, we have auxins. The main natural auxin you need to know is indole-3-acetic acid, or IAA. Auxins are basically the primary growth directors. They're synthesized right at the shoot and root tips. And they are super famous for maintaining apical dominance. What does that mean? It means they suppress the lateral or side buds to force the plant to grow taller rather than bushier. They also drive cell elongation, direct phototropism, and, this is a fun one, they can even induce parthenocarpy. That's just the fancy biological term for the development of seedless fruits like certain bananas or tomatoes.
Next on the promoter list, we have gibberellins. You can think of these as the absolute size boosters for a plant. Their most outstanding effect is stem and internode elongation. Actually, if you take gibberellins and apply them to genetically dwarf plants like certain types of peas or cabbage, they will literally grow to normal heights. It's like magic. They also play a huge role in breaking seed dormancy to kickstart germination, and they're widely used in commercial farming to increase the size of fruits like big bunches of grapes.
Rounding out our promoters are the cytokinins. The name itself is a massive hint here. It comes from cytokinesis, which means cell division. So yes, these are the cell division masters. But they also have this really fascinating anti-aging effect. They actually delay leaf senescence, which is aging, keeping the leaves greener for much longer by preventing the breakdown of chlorophyll. Plus, they kind of act as a rival to auxins because they counteract apical dominance to promote lateral branch growth.
Okay, let's switch gears. Section 4, the plant growth inhibitors. Now pay close attention because this right here is a massive board exam keyword. Abscisic acid, or ABA for short, is universally known as the stress hormone. It's the plant's emergency response system. It jumps into action when the plant is facing severe environmental threats. We're talking serious drought, extreme cold, or high soil salinity.
So how exactly does ABA fight stress? Well, when water is scarce, ABA forces the stomata in the leaves to close up immediately. That prevents fatal water loss through transpiration. It also induces dormancy in seeds and buds, basically putting them to sleep, so they don't foolishly try to germinate during harsh winter conditions. And finally, it causes abscission. That's the strategic shedding of older leaves and fruits to help the plant conserve its limited resources.
And our final hormone is ethylene. This one is totally unique because it is the only gaseous plant hormone. Yep,
It's a gas, which means it can easily diffuse through the air. Its primary function, and definitely the one you must remember for your exams, is accelerating the ripening of fruits. Think about mangoes, bananas, tomatoes ripening on your counter. That's ethylene at work. It also teams up with ABA to promote the aging and abscission of leaves and flowers.
Moving on to Section 5, Tropic Movements in Action. Let's see these chemicals at work.
So what is a tropism? Simply put, a tropism is a directional growth movement of a plant part in response to an external stimulus. And the categorization is really straightforward. If a plant part is growing towards a stimulus, it's exhibiting positive tropism. Conversely, if it's growing away from a stimulus, that displays negative tropism.
Your ICSE syllabus specifically highlights a few key stimuli you need to know. First is phototropism, the response to light. Shoots are positively phototropic because they grow toward the sun. Then there's geotropism, the response to gravity. Roots are positively geotropic as they grow downward into the earth. And then we have hydrotropism, the response to water, which ensures roots seek out underground moisture. And here's a really cool fact. Hydrotropism is actually a stronger force for roots than gravity. They will literally defy gravity to reach water.
Now this next part brilliantly illustrates just how sensitive plants really are. Thigmotropism is the growth response to touch. Think of climbing vines or sweet pea tendrils that instantly start to coil around a fence the moment they feel contact. It's amazing. Then there's chemotropism, which is a response to chemical signals. This is perfectly exemplified during reproduction, when a pollen tube grows down the style, guided directly by chemicals to reach the ovule. To tie this all together, let's look at exactly how a hormone physically creates a movement. Take phototropism, which is orchestrated by auxin. When light hits one side of a shoot, the auxin actively redistributes itself. It kind of runs and hides on the shaded side of the stem. This sudden high concentration of auxin on the dark side causes those specific cells to elongate much faster than the cells on the lighted side. And that unequal growth, it physically bends the plant toward the light. I mean, it is an absolute masterpiece of natural chemical engineering.
Finally, Section 6, ICSE Masterclass Exam Prep. Let's make sure you dominate this chapter.
We want to absolutely guarantee your success on the boards, so make sure to join our official Telegram channel at t.me/ICSE Masterclass. That's where you can download your free, highly detailed handwritten PDF notes, chapter summary sheets, and all the practice worksheets you need. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you never miss a new explainer, and drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway from today to stay ahead in your ICSE prep.
I'll leave you with this final thought for today's explainer. Next time you see a houseplant bending toward the sun in your window, what incredible, invisible chemical battles will you imagine happening inside? Because while plants might be silent and they might be rooted to one single spot, inside they are incredibly dynamic, calculating survival machines. Keep studying, keep observing the amazing world around you, and I will see you in the next masterclass.